You know what? I'm simply gonna come out and say it. I was giving Blizzard too much credit. Part of what makes creating these videos fun is piecing together things that happened to then try and predict what is going to happen next. 2019 is still a great year for Overwatch, however, what I would have considered a massive win streak for the game has officially ended with this event. Now, it's not all bad. In fact, I want to discuss who this event is for and what its purpose is so that you can find out if it's worth your time. Or perhaps you are simply looking to have your own viewpoint on it challenged. Just know that there are some very clear distinctions to be made. And part of the reason why I find this event disappointing is probably not why many of you find it disappointing. So why don't we just dive right into it? What's new? Well, not a heck of a lot. Lucio Ball is back because of course it is, and obviously there are a bunch of new cosmetics. The big difference this year is the structure of how you can acquire new items added in this patch. If you remember any of the micro events from Nano Cola to Reunion, you'll also remember how you had to win 9 regular matches of Overwatch in order to unlock a special set of cosmetics. Well, picture that, except the items you can unlock actually change every week. What's really cool about this is that it does not replace anything you've done before. You can still grind the arcade to get bonus loot boxes, and you can still stack to gain bonus XP and grind loot boxes faster. This new progression system was simply added on top of what we already know. The developers give us a reason to come back every week, even when we already got the skins we wanted out of our first week's worth of loot boxes, because the rewards we are getting change on a weekly basis. Now, that is cool and all, but is that it? The reason that all this feels so bare bones is because we have already seen it. Micro events are not a new thing, and neither are seasonal events. Merging the two is certainly a neat idea, but it's not gonna rock your socks off by any means. We have kind of grown accustomed to the idea that balance updates largely replace content drops in the traditional sense. As much as Blizzard is trying to sell us that meme that skins equal content, it's just not the same as a new game mode or a really hefty balance patch that changes the meta of the game. As such, every time a seasonal event rolls around, we are expecting both of these things to go live so that the event feels worthwhile. Casual players can chase after their skins, and competitive players can get accustomed to a new meta. Now, very notably, one half of that expectation has not been met. There has been no update to competitive play, no feature has been added to the game, and not even a developer update that would address the lack of any of these things. That does not mean that they won't talk about it eventually, it's just that its absence at launch becomes very apparent because without balance patches, seasonal events just feel very bare bones to a big part of our community. Which leads us to the next part. Who is this event for? Before I answer that question ever so bluntly, let me add some context. And this is gonna be one of those stay with me here kinds of situations, so stay with me here. Prior to the Summer Games event going live, I was having mad Apex fever. Apex Legends has been updated with its second season, and in addition to a lot of new things, they also added a ranked mode. Honest to God, there's nothing I wanted to do more than continue grinding that game with my friends so that I can get better at it and rank up. Does that mean that a game whose whole premise revolves around the idea of obtaining random loot to fight other players is more competitive than a hero-based FPS? No, not necessarily, and that's not at all what I'm trying to get at. It's the simple fact of the matter that it is new. The map has changed, a new mode was added, and new skins come along as kind of a given. Now we fast forward to the Summer Games Event 2019 launching in Overwatch. Honestly, I did not dread playing the game. I simply preferred playing something else. So when the event finally went live, I suddenly had a really good reason to log back into Overwatch. It sounds dumb on a surface level because as a veteran player, I should know that there won't be a heck of a lot that's new, but you know what? Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you just need a very simple, blatant excuse for players to come back and play your game, and the structure of weekly challenges certainly feeds into that idea. Naturally, if you are one of those players who are waiting for big changes, this is not gonna cut it for you. In fact, it could even make it worse, simply because you were expecting much more. But if you're like me and all you wanted was a reason to play the game, I honestly think you're gonna have an okay time. With that said, there is still a good chance that you will end up disappointed, because unless you really like Lucio Ball, there isn't much on the side of gameplay variety that will catch your interest. Quite frankly, the event could even ruin the arcade for you if Lucio Ball ends up replacing a game mode that you would rather play. So what am I trying to get at with this video? Maybe that seasonal events are not supposed to be the big game changers that I thought they were supposed to be. Considering we only ever have seasonal events, micro events, feature updates, and balance changes, and also considering that many of these things coincide by launch date, I may have gotten my expectations up for no good reason. Because as a seasonal event, Summer Games 2019 is a straight up improvement compared to its predecessor. Is it a huge improvement? No, not really, but an improvement nonetheless. However, as a content update, it is extremely bare bones, especially considering the hype that they have built around role queue, 222 log, and a clan system. A rehashed arcade mode just is not gonna compare. It may have been convenient to lump both of these things together into one launch day in the past, but maybe they are trying a different approach this time. Maybe they want seasonal events to just be that, a slight change of pace, and then have balance updates and feature updates be their own standalone thing. Obviously, my guess is as good as yours, so feel free to leave a comment down below highlighting what your expectations were for the Summer Games Event 2019 and whether or not you felt that Blizzard met them. Because I for one am definitely fairly disappointed, but I'm not sure if that's because of my own false expectations or because the event really should have been more than it ended up being. With that said, I'll definitely be playing the game more as a result of this event going live, but I don't think that I'm done grinding Apex Legends just yet. If you're not tired of watching my videos just yet, I have recently gotten to interview a bunch of really cool Overwatch content creators about the game, and I highly recommend you go and check out that video. You might see some familiar faces in it. But before you do that, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you guys next time.